Yeah, so we got approached by a developer. They were looking at some properties in the Richmond area in terms of building multi-storey office development, and wanted to get some preliminary advice in regards to some parking rates. It was a relatively narrow site, so how best to achieve the car parking. So we got involved. This is in the city of Yarra, who are quite forward thinking in terms of provision of car parking. Where the statutory rate says one thing, they're more than happy to vary that down for a more sustainable type development, more of a push towards bicycle parking, public transport usage, and a move away from private vehicles, which is fine, except applicants often still want to get as many cars on the site as possible. So it was a relatively narrow site. We initially looked at a fully automated car stacker, and that's what we ended up proposing. So a transfer cabin on the ground floor, which then goes into a multi-basement level. Staff would drive into that transfer cabin, and then they can just leave their car, and it all gets done mechanically, moving the car down into the basement. That got approved by council with a relatively low car parking rate, but then the applicant came back to us, and after doing the costing of the development, realised that might not be feasible moving forward. So we then had to come up with an alternative arrangement. So a more standard basement design, ramping down, some car stackers, semi-automatic type car stackers within the basement, which are far more or less expensive to use. Multiple basement levels still, and making sure that it was still going to be something that would be approved by council. A bit of a change from what we originally were looking at, but still able to yield a similar car parking provision in line with what was already permitted, and something that council would be happy with.